I reached my hand into the sea, but the next second, something strange happened. Countless little fish, as if responding to some kind of call, swam toward me, but the fishermen weren't surprised. Every time they took me out to sea, they always returned with full nets. My ability had provided for hundreds of people on the island, but my secret was far more than that. Every morning, a line of people would form outside my adoptive parents' home. No matter what illness someone had, if they'd ever met me, they were healed. Even the smallest cut would heal at a visible speed, right before their eyes. The people on the island treated me like a savior, worshipping me as if I were a god. It was me who allowed them to live a life of wealth, no longer burdened by disease. However, over time, the island's peace was torn apart by the fishermen's greed. One day, Jack and I went up the mountain to play. Suddenly, we found a huge beehive on the ground. Oddly enough, when I got close, the aggressive bees, instead of attacking, calmly surrounded me, resting on my hand like pets. Just as I was about to show Jack, I noticed he was being attacked by the bees. Seeing Jack hurt, I instinctively clenched my fists. To my shock, the bees around me instantly dropped dead. Jack was frozen in place, and I was just as stunned. To keep others from thinking I was a monster, I asked Jack to keep this a secret. But after that day, my ability mysteriously disappeared. I could no longer heal the people on the island. The fish the fishermen caught were few and far between. A week passed, and the people began to get restless. They held an emergency meeting overnight, fearing that their lives would get even worse. The next morning, they came to my house with gifts, praying for my powers to return. That night, while Lisa was comforting me to sleep, she noticed her wound was healing. She called for her husband Nick, and he was shocked to see the scar on his hand disappearing before his eyes. They realized my healing powers had returned. Lisa wanted to tell Aunt May immediately, since Aunt May suffered from severe Alzheimer's. During the time I couldn't heal, her condition had worsened, but Nick stopped her. He knew that if Aunt May regained her mind, the islanders would use me again. He said life and death were natural, and Lisa shouldn't interfere. However, Lisa couldn't hold back. She secretly brought Aunt May over in the middle of the night. At that moment, Aunt May's Alzheimer's miraculously healed. But the fisherman's catch still didn't improve, and they began blaming Lisa. It turned out that after regaining her mind, Aunt May had leaked the news about my restored abilities. Aunt May realized that I could only heal while asleep, and she came up with a terrifying idea. She handed Nick a bottle of sleeping pills, asking him to quietly put me to sleep. That way, the islanders could continue to enjoy my blessings. At first, Nick refused, but Lisa kept urging him.
It'll be just like visitations when she was a baby. She won't remember.
And in the end, he agreed. That night, Lisa secretly ground the sleeping pills into powder, mixing them into my water. When I fell into a deep sleep, she and the other villagers carried me down to the beach. The fishermen set up the nets in the sea, and Lisa, holding me, stepped slowly into the water.